To the bad guy. You're never gonna see a bad guy like this.
Yeah, but if you really want to pay attention, if you really want to know what's going on, like I thought I saw Bernie Sanders like sneak into my party yesterday. Hey Angela, did they let Bernie in?
I think that was Bernie Madoff. What's his name?
What's his name?
I don't know. Madoff?
Oh man, he looks like Bernie Sanders.
He thought Bernie Sanders was sneaking to my party.
Hey, can I just back to the search in the city, like all the presidents are?
Why not?
Yeah, let me see that.
Right now.
See if I'm
So I have a black and I have other colors. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, I need the
The ones
other,
returning
the long one.
Wait, I gotta get a little more in the sun. There you go.
Hey,
Good. I got you perfect. Oh.
give me my charger.
red, orange, yellow.
So let me say something about Bernie Sanders.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So let me say something about Bernie Sanders.
Which one?
Bernie.
Orange?
Like Bernie Sanders is really fun. He's really fun, and he almost has a sense of humor.
They had a patty.
Hi, Betty. Try Steven. And you know the thing is this: is that socialism,
Right back.
from first-hand experience, because I was born in Cuba, and we saw socialism turn a society into there's a king and people that work with him, and then there's the rest of the people. And that's what happens in socialism. And Bernie Sanders is like saying democratic socialism is different. Same thing. It's the same thing. But it sounds really good.
It sounds awesome, baby.
It sounds really good. Everybody makes the same wage. The wages are higher. Everybody gets free education. Free education. You don't know what you're going to get, but it's free. So you don't have to pay for it. And everybody's going to have a job. But you know what? It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. And all you have to do is look at Venezuela, and you look at Cuba, and you look at Hungary, and you look at North Korea, and you look at China, and you look at right like in our backyard, man, in our backyard, Venezuela. Come on. They're fighting for food in the streets.
Couple that are too lazy.
Why? Because they tried to impose socialism, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Free enterprise is the way to go, because we as individuals, we're individuals. We're not robots. We're not slaves. We don't want to be slaves. None of us want to be slaves. We want to strive and provide for our children. So in a socialist state, you don't get to do that. You get to have what your neighbor has, and that's it. And that's it, folks.
Wow.
And the government gets to have a lot. And they can make it sound really good. Bernie's really good. Bernie he's got it down, and he's got all the entire college students of the United States all like wrapped up in this like fantasy world of like we are all equal. Yes, we are.
Because we don't read into it.
But the economic facts are skewed when you talk about socialism, when you try to impose socialism on a democratic society. Look at Denmark. There are people leaving Denmark to come here
But you can't change up that stuff.
because they pay 90% in taxes. It's ridiculous. Oh, we have free health care, but we pay 85% of our salaries to the government. So we're not free. Come on. It's like, let's all just wake up and like do a little more research. That's all. You don't have to vote for one person or another. You just have to like really, really pay attention, as opposed to all these kids that are interviewed. They're on the street. They're interviewed. It's like so. What's the name of the vice president? They're like, who won the Second World War? Japan? No. Why? What was the Civil War about? We were fighting England? No. No. We were fighting ourselves about slavery. It's like, come on, man. Let's get like an educational system that like really educates people, educates young people, so that they can actually name and understand the history of the United States and of civilization, Western civilization, in order not to repeat the mistakes. I don't know, man. I love young people, but they're so dumb when it comes to history. And if you don't know history, you are bound to repeat it.
It's crazy we live in a time with so much technology and like intellect that you can't access it unless you actually do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have a little bit of faith.
There's plenty out there, you gotta actually do it.
You know why? You know why? Because I know people like you that are creative and they're upwardly mobile people, and they're people who are struggling for their own freedom and their own freedom of expression. So I love that. You guys give me hope. You know. But the problem is when young people, when your friends are like sheep and they follow because it sounds good, but they don't do the research. You know, it's like, don't you know that Venezuela, there are people diving into garbage cans to find food because that socialist government failed one more time, like Cuba failed, one more time, like the Congo failed, one more time, like Ethiopia failed, one more time with socialist agendas. Like China failed, like the USSR failed, and now they're capitalist. You know, it's just, if you don't know history, you're bound to repeat the mistakes of history. You gotta pay attention. You can't just be into I understand, like, there are things that are really, really fun in social media, and there are great things in creative expression in social media, but you can't just be into that and not know your history, where you came from, and why you are free to express those things. Why are you free? Because people fought for that freedom, and there are people working day and night to take away that freedom. They're going to take it away from you. You'll be like, what happened? Like Scooby-Doo. Ooh, me? You know, you're like, what happened? Who got elected? That like is like saying that we got to pay like over 50% of our salary to the government, and we get free health care, but we still got to stand in line, and we got to study this. We are studying like crazy stuff. Like, you're not really studying civilization, because if you study civilization, then you like have an idea of like what the mistakes that man made, the mistakes of man. But if you don't study history, and if you don't pay attention, and you think that your teachers, you know, are trying to like bully you with information about how this country that still stands out as the beacon of freedom, and that everybody wants to come to. This is the beacon of freedom, and everybody wants to come here. Why? Why?
How are you? You have a white Lamborghini Gallardo?
Because
Okay,
here
I need it right now. I'm gonna send
you can get a
right
job
now. License, credit
if you
card,
try really
everything.
hard,
I'm gonna tell you the address
and you
where
have a
it's
skill, and you can get a job
Right
that
now,
can
today.
pay your rent and actually like feed your children. And eventually your children will go to college and they'll become engineers, or they'll become scientists, or they'll become artists, which is cool. But the thing is that a lot of the students that are in college right now are being told that what we have to do is we have to change the entire system so that the rich can't get richer and the poor get a little more money for free.
We need to change the entire education system.
And that's, you know what that's like? You know what that does to the human spirit? When you're poor, when I was poor and someone said, you can get money for free, you know what I said? I ain't getting a job.
All right.
I ain't getting a job. I can get money for free. And you know what that does to a society? You know what that does to children, to teenagers? It's like, hey man, all we gotta do is scam the government and we just get to party. And that's it. We just get to party from now on and we'll just work the government to pay our way to be able to do nothing. And you know what that does to invention and to creativity and to scientific progress? It kills it. It kills it.
Boy, that's real. Science is out of here.
I love artists. And a lot of people say to me, like, artists are like,
What's your name? My name is Antonio.
my name is
Antonio.
Jose Jimenez. And I built this country,
Huh?
okay?
Where'd you learn how to
Listen,
speak English?
my name is Long Talk, and I built this country
Hey, don't
too.
you have a friend called
And this
Long
country was, hey, let me tell you something. This country was built by, let me tell you something. This country was built by immigrants, okay? Chinese, Japanese immigrants, Irish, Polish, Italian immigrants, Africans who were fucking beaten and brutalized, and they built this country. Okay? So we are all American now. And we have to hang like Americans. There's no division. Just because I speak like with an accent,
Sean Hannity wants to call you.
what?
Sean Hannity wants to
En caso cerrado.
What?
You want to talk?
No, I'm angry about this. You know why? Because this United States is built on families that were brought here, that came here seeking freedom.
Statue of Liberty.
You know why? You
Ellis
know,
Island.
and now what happens is that there is an ideology of hate
Any white member.
that hates gays and hates people who are free, and they're over there across the ocean,
Okay,
and
so
they're
how
going to
fast
try
can
to
you get to the
sneak
booth?
in here, and they're already here because
Okay,
they
text me
killed
when it's there. I
they
did, I just
killed
sent it to you.
50 plus gay
I just sent it to you.
kids, and my son's
license,
21st
credit card,
birthday was celebrated at that club, Pulse. Dig this. My son Dylan, his 21st birthday was celebrated at that club, Pulse. Okay?
Wow.
5 years ago in Orlando. And he just learned that two of the friends who were with him, who worked at Disney World with him, who were gay, were killed.
Wow.
Okay? So it's not us trying to kill each other. It's them trying to kill us.
Don't get into religion.
My son is like, I can't believe it.